There was a villager. He was illiterate, so he couldn't read or write. He did not know how to read and write. But he was very fond of reading. He often watched in wonder as people put on glasses to read books and newspapers. He thought to himself,
"If I had glasses like these people, I could read too. I must go to town and buy a pair of spectacles for myself. Then I will be able to read books and newspapers just like everyone else."
So one day, he went to a town. He entered a spectacle shop. The shopkeeper asked,
"Hey there, friend. Welcome to my shop. Looking for glasses?"
"Yes, sir.
the villager said.
I would like to buy a pair of reading glasses. Please recommend me some good glasses."
The shopkeeper smiled and said,
Absolutely. I have plenty of fantastic glasses right here. They are all top-notch designs. And I will show you some at really fair prices. Come on. Let me give you a look.
The shopkeeper gave him various pairs of spectacles and a book. The villager tried all the spectacles one by one, but he could not read anything. He told the shopkeeper that all those spectacles were useless for him. The shopkeeper gave him a doubtful look. Then he looked at the book. It was upside down. The shopkeeper said,
Perhaps you don't know how to read.
The villager said,
"No, I don't. I want to buy spectacles so that I can read like others. But I can't read with any of these spectacles."
The shopkeeper controlled his laughter with great difficulty. When he learned the real problem of his illiterate customer, he explained to the villager,
My dear friend, you are very ignorant. Spectacles don't help you read or write. They only help you see better. First, you must learn to read and write.
Moral: understanding the root of a problem is essential to finding the right solution. Once upon a time, a king loved to have fun by teasing his minister. He often thought up clever tricks to play on him. The king enjoyed watching the minister get confused. It was a game the king never got tired of. One day, the king told his servants to hire some carpenters to build a cupboard. After a few days, the cupboard was finished and ready to use. However, the coating of glue that was applied over the cupboard did not dry up. In court, the king asked the minister to go and check out the new cupboard in his room. The minister went inside the king's room and placed his hand on the cupboard to open it. His hand was struck in the cupboard. He tried to detach his hand from the surface of the cupboard, but the glue was very strong. He was unable to call anyone for help. Because of the embarrassment that would follow afterward. Meanwhile, the king quickly guessed the reason for the minister's delay. He went in and saw the minister trying to detach his hand from the cupboard. The king was enjoying the scene and said,
"Oh, you got stuck. I forgot to mention the glue."
The minister's face turned red in embarrassment. That evening, somehow, the minister detached himself from that cupboard. However, the king continued with his taunting remarks.
"What about the cupboard? That troubled you?"
He used to ask the minister. The minister failed to reply anything and lowered his head in embarrassment. The minister then carefully designed a plan. One morning, during the court session, the minister approached the king with a humble request.
Your Majesty.
He began with bowing respectfully.
I seek your permission to take leave for a few days. I have a distant relative who is gravely ill, and it is my duty to visit and offer my support.
The king waved his hand and said,
"Very well. Take your leave and attend to your family matters. But do return soon, for the court will miss your presence."
The minister bowed again, hiding a sly smile.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I shall return promptly.
Thus he took leave for a few days, on the pretext of visiting a distant relative. However, he was roaming about in the country, in disguise of a beggar, and kept track of the king's movements. One day, the minister came to know about the king's going out for hunting. He followed the king and came to a forest. The king loved hunting, and he finally got detached from his troop in pursuit of chasing a deer. After some time, the king lost the deer, which was moving very fast. He decided to take a rest under a tree. After resting for some time, he felt something was moving nearby behind the shrubs. He tried to see it, but he failed to find anything. Suddenly, a large, ugly figure jumped in front of him and scared the king a lot. The king tried to call his men, but he soon lost his senses. Finally, his men arrived and found him senseless, lying under a tree. The next day, when the king resumed his throne in court, he was in a fresh mood again. He saw the minister and teased him.
Did the cupboard cause you any more trouble?
The minister replied with a smile.
Did a ghost trouble you in the forest? Did you have a run-in from a ghost in the forest?
The king's jaw dropped, and he looked at the minister in surprise. This time, the king's face turned red. In front of all the members of the court. Moral: treat others the way you want to be treated.